Hi and welcome to this special episode of Belgian Diecast Restorations. I'm Jan and a lot of people have been asking me about the device I use to make new axles for Matchbox, Majorette, Hotwheels and other models that use small axles. The device is called the Jewelry Spot Welder. These are specially made to weld small pieces of metal for jewelry, like necklace links, locks and hooks. And as it turns out, these welders are also very much suited to melt a near perfect knob on the ends of small steel axles. First of all, the idea to use a jewelry welder is not mine, but was suggested by Michael Hawk, one of the moderators of the Diecast and Mods community group on Facebook. If you're into diecast restoring or model building, check out this group, you'll find the link in the description. A jewelry welder is a fairly simple device. Mine's an 80 amp welder from AliExpress and is already more than powerful enough for our purpose. The device consists of the base unit, a positive electrode, a ground connector and a foot pedal. Most welders come with metal tweezers attached to ground. This would be very fiddly with round metal axles, so I made my own ground wire using an alligator clip that firmly grasps the axle. I also lengthened the cables of the electrode and ground, so I could store the base unit under the table, saving valuable workspace. The positive electrode is a tungsten pin, which is mounted in a stand or can be mounted in a grip. There are several kinds of electrodes for spot welding. They are color-coded depending on their composition. Usually the unit comes with a red-tipped thoriated electrode. These are good all-round electrodes and will do the job. However, these contain thorium and are mildly radioactive. If you use these electrodes, take proper safety precautions, especially when sanding or grinding them. This said, I got rid of the thoriated electrode and bought grey-tipped serrated electrodes, which are perfect for welding steel and also safe to use. The controls on the welder consist of two tuning knobs and a switch. The switch makes you choose between high or low power. For steel axles we will switch to high or maximum power. The left knob is for coarse adjustment, the right knob is for fine adjustment. Nevertheless, my 80 amps unit packs a punch, so setting the knobs at low settings will give the best results. On my welder the coarse setting is set to 0.4 and the fine setting is set to 4.0. You might want to experiment with different settings to see what works best for you. On my welder the tuning knobs can be locked in place so you don't accidentally change the values. Before we make our first axles, a word about safety. A jewelry welder is not a toy. If used incorrectly or without the proper safety measures, it can cause bodily harm. Along with your spot welder you'll also need to buy a pair of spot welding goggles. These not only protect your eyes from the bright plasma flash, which can cause temporary or even lasting damage to your retinas, they also protect your eyes against small shards of metal that can fly away during the welding. Welding produces sparks, so it goes without saying that you work on a flat surface away from any flammable objects or liquids. I also use a cover to protect my usual work surface against burn marks. This Siku police car is not in bad condition, at least not bad enough for a complete restoration. However, it is missing a set of wheels. First we choose the right thickness for the axle. These usually vary between 0.8 mm and 1 mm. In this case they are 1 mm. Always use steel rods, never brass or other soft metals, as those will just melt away instead of balling up. First we seal one end of the axle by making the first weld. We attach the axle to the alligator clip and hold it about half a millimeter from the positive electrode. Don't hold the axle against the electrode as it will stick to it and you won't get a good spark that's needed to melt the steel. A very short press of the pedal closes the circuit and makes the weld. Don't press too long since you're basically creating a shortcut and putting a lot of strain on the electronics. I prefer to push the pedal with my hands as this gives me more control. Note how the wheel passes over the knob just like it should be. Then we pass both wheels over the other end of the axle and fit them to the car. Keep in mind that the weld shortens the axle slightly, so make your axle slightly longer than it needs to be. Better to be generous here. You can always shorten an axle that turns out too long, but you can never lengthen it. We measure the correct length and cut the axle right before the wheel. Now we return to the welder to make the second weld and seal the axle. The wheels are now secured and the knobs on the end are small enough to recede inside the wheels like they should. Now we can attach the wheels back to the model. Since we drilled out a rivet, it needs to be secured again. I tap a screw thread, others prefer to use a rivet, or you can simply use super glue. Next we have this pretty generic Hot Wheels car. Not really a collector's item, but for demonstration purposes it will do. The paintwork on the car is in nice condition, but the front axle is severely bent. I open up the car to remove the axle. I remove the wheels from the axle, then straighten it a bit to get the right measurement. Again, I place the end of the axle against the electrode and make the first axle end. The jewelry welder doesn't require a lot of maintenance, just keep it stored in a dry place. As you use it, there will be a buildup of soot and molten steel residue on the tungsten electrode. From time to time you will need to use a wire brush or sandpaper to remove it and to improve conductivity. That's why the thoriated electrodes are not recommended, as you will be sending off mildly radioactive particles. Jewelry welders are widely available. You can find them on Amazon or AliExpress. They come with all accessories, although you might need to make your own clamps and lengthen the cables to your own needs. And that's really all there is to it. Let me know in the comments if you use a jewelry welder or are planning to use it. Don't hesitate to ask any questions if you have some. Thanks for watching and see you next week for a brand new restoration video.